Hey guys, Tyler for GamingNextAGE, bringing you another episode 4 of Reading Creepy Stories. I'd just like to thank everyone, since this is like the most viewed series I've had ever. And I'm gonna read this story. It's called The Mailman. When I was maybe 10 or 11, I was homesick from school and I was on the couch watching TV when the doorbell rang. It was the mailman, who told me we had gotten a package. But it was so big that he needed help carrying it in. I wasn't that old, but I knew right away something was wrong. I asked him where his truck was, because I didn't see it parked out front. He kept telling me it was around the corner. I asked him why the regular mailman, who always brought lollipops, wasn't there, and I was told he was visiting family. He kept telling me to open the front door, but I politely told him that I wasn't feeling well, and that I wasn't allowed to leave the house. I told him we picked up the box from the post office, and he was telling me how much of a hassle that would be, and how my mom would want me to do this her this favor. I told him that I would come outside, but that I had to get my shoes from upstairs first. I closed the front door and locked it. Then I ran to the house, locked the back door, and called my neighbor, who worked from home. She was a close family friend, and I called her up screaming into the phone that she had to come over right now. Then I stood at the locked front door and stared at the man through the window in the door. He staring and yelled through the door asking if I found my shoes. So I yelled to him that I called my neighbor to help carry it because she's older and stronger. He just turned around and ran. They never caught him. I always worried if he ever managed to trick some other kid. Okay, this story is called The Man in the Second Room. True story time. I was about 4 or 5 years old and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I liked sleeping in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of a hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remembered that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room. That was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night. I remembered sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the open frame of my mom's room. Her door was open and you could practically see into my bedroom. It was strange because our cat was a huge snuggler and was typically always in bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and woke her up. In the 3-4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked up in the door frame and there was a man standing by my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, and it was maybe a 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came, but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man must have exited that way. But the strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with a deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep.